All right, you guys. So today I'm going to share with you guys how to start to really use a healthy passion to pre-plan out your week. Now, this is one of the number one game changers as far as allowing ladies to stay on track with their lifestyle long term and to make sure that they have a plan no matter what life throws their way. So if you guys are really wanting to dial in and create a lifestyle you can sustain long term, pre-planning out your week is so key. So I'm going to show you how to use a healthy passion to do that today. It's something that I do every single Friday. I like to plan my entire week in advance. I pour a cup of tea, I sit down, I make it fun, I light a candle, and it takes me about 15 to 20 minutes to do so, but saves me so much time on the back end because I'm not sitting there staring in the fridge trying to figure out what the heck to eat for dinner or plugging things in that aren't going to work and then ending up in the weeds and having to figure out how to get my protein up without going over on carbs. So some ladies like to plan out 2-3 days at a time. Some ladies will plan out just the day before based on what they have. So find what works for you, but I'm going to show you guys how to use a healthy passion to make it super simple. So I'm going to plan for the first week of November. And with Healthy Passion, you just want to select the day you're planning for on the calendar so you can plan as far in advance as you want. It's amazing. And then you just start typing things in. Now, when I first get started, I find that the first thing that you put in is the hardest. So I actually like to use the autofill button to help kind of get me started. So I'm not sitting there staring at a blank screen. And then keeping in mind that it is a computer, so it will maybe not always know exactly what you want, but it's a good place to start. And then you can go in and you can delete, change, edit, and kind of go from there. So this all looks pretty good so far. Actually, this looks like an amazing day, which doesn't always happen. But I'm going to show you guys, say, for example, I decided I don't want the Greek yogurt. You can just leave that out. And maybe I want to do some avocado with lunch instead. So you just type in the word you're looking for, hit enter, and then go ahead and select this little check mark to add that in. And for me, that looks like a pretty perfect day, which again, very rarely happens that I'm like, oh my gosh, it's exactly what I want to eat. So now what I want to do is go ahead and plan for the next day. So I'm going to take a peek at dinner, and my strategy, and you guys will see this on the meal plan that I made for you, is to take whatever's left over from dinner and have it for lunch the next day. I just find it makes it so simple. So that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go to the next day, November 2nd. And I'm going to click this little clock here, and that will pull up the most recently added items. So I can actually take my dinner and easily find it instead of having to search for it and add it to lunch the next day. And here you can decide how many portions. If you don't put anything, it does the standard. I'm going to do the same thing for breakfast because I really liked the shake. I find it's just easy, especially when, running around about 11 a.m. and want to break my fast with something quick, recent, and add that. And then I actually really like the snacks too. So I'm going to go ahead and hit recent. Plug a couple of the snacks. Those Parmesan crisps are delicious. Enter. I'm going to do some bone broth. It's one of my favorites on low carb days. So I'm going to add that 2 cups right there. And then I'm going to we'll do a yogurt. So I've got my snacks plugged in. Perfect. Okay, so then for dinner, I could search what I want. So say, for example, I'm in the mood for salmon or chicken or pork. Excuse me. You could type that in, hit enter, or you can figure out what software recommends by clicking this fork and knife button. So that's what I'm going to do just to get some ideas. And then I can kind of look and see, kind of what looks good here. I think I'm going to go with these, but I want to see what they look like first. Oh, that's beef. I'm not going to do beef 2 times in one day. So maybe I'm going to look for something else. Ooh, chicken. That sounds perfect. Yum. So I'm going to add that, click the little check mark. And when you click on the recipe, I forgot to show you guys, but when you click on the recipe, you can actually see the cooking time, the pantry items needed, the tools needed. Now this one you see 60 minutes. That's because it takes some time for the cauliflower to roast, but active time is only 20. I can see the ingredients here, pantry items, tools, directions. So that's awesome. So I'm going to leave that on there. And then you can see here, I actually, well, I didn't go over. I thought I went over my calories, but say I had gone over my calories, then I can always adjust. Say I want to adjust the amount of my Parmesan crisps to half a portion. You click that little minus sign, it allows you to adjust the amount. So it makes it kind of really easy because you're sort of playing Tetris with making your meal plan so that the numbers all work out. And it makes it easy to adapt. So that looks really good to me. I always want to be within about 100 calories. And you can see here, Healthy Passion lays out your goals. So like the number that you're trying to hit, carbs, protein, and fat. And this is a low carb day. So obviously that protein and fat are going to be much higher. And then what's remaining is in green, or you can see here, I went over on protein, which that's okay on a low carb day. So this looks awesome. Now, say for example, I love my Monday, Tuesday, and I want to actually have the same thing the next week. It makes it really easy to click the little copy button. So I'll select the day I want to copy, click these 2 pieces of paper, and then I can quickly copy over to the next week. And this, you guys, is the number one time saving thing. And then what I like to do is just go in and maybe delete and change out a few things. That way I don't get bored. So maybe I just want to pick a different dinner. So I'll delete that out and then get some suggestions from the fork and knife, just like that. Or I really am craving salmon. So maybe I'll type in the word salmon and get a recommendation for a salmon recipe. Now you'll see here ingredients come up when I just type it in. If you scroll all the way down, you'll see recipes are at the bottom. Or if you want to quickly find them, you can click this little clipboard and it'll pull just the recipes up immediately. Now keep in mind that it pulls up all salmon recipes. So you're gonna have to make sure you're looking for something with lower carbs by following these numbers, which this air fryer garlic Parmesan salmon with green beans sounds awesome. So I think I'm gonna go with that. Perfect. So that is the copy button. Now I'm going to go back to the day I was planning for, and I want to make sure I have lunch then for the upcoming day. So I'm going to go ahead and use the recent icon to move that to lunch for Wednesday. So you guys get the idea. Just kind of like cook and then have leftovers, cook, have leftovers, that kind of thing. Now, say for example, something that you love to eat isn't in the software. So it's a specific brand of bread or maybe your protein powder. You can click this little plus icon and add a custom food. So you'll just type in the information, on the package or, off Panera's website or whatever it may be, and you'll hit enter, and then it'll be in there for you to use over and over again. So that is how to add a custom food. Again, fork and knife's amazing for suggestions. The clock is recent. Autofill starts from scratch. If you guys do want to use the shopping list feature, this little shopping cart icon, actually, when you click that, it will add it to your shopping list, which you can find up here. And then if you guys are looking at the screen and you're like, I don't know what I want, but I want to just get some ideas. This little browse button is amazing for that because you can literally sit here and look at food and decide what looks good. So if you have picky kids or are feeding a whole family, one tip I love is to actually have the family get involved and kind of sit there and be like, oh, I want to eat this, or I want to eat that, or, give them some ability to have some say in it. That way they're a lot more willing and excited about what's on the table. So hope this was helpful. If you guys have any questions, let me know. But Healthy Passion is amazing for really just keeping you on track, keeping you organized. If you're busy, like we all are, it's a game changer. So definitely use it. Definitely get in the habit of making time to pre-plan, because I know it sounds like something that's going to take a little bit of time, but I promise you it will save you so much time on the back end and so much stress and really just help you stay on track. So if you guys have questions, let me know.